Something happened today that I think I really needed. I was in work and my coworker had a meeting with two people who came into the store, and she basically asked me to just swap stations with her. So I did, and she took these two other businessy looking people upstairs for this meeting. Like, I barely even looked at these people. I was just in the zone doing my job. But for a little bit of context, the street that I work on is notoriously haunted. Like, everybody who works in all of the buildings there has a story, and it's historically just very strange and weird things that have happened on that street. I've also had personal experiences as well that I just can't explain. She said that guy who I've just had a meeting with, we were talking about all the sort of freaky stuff on this street, and he says that he's not that he is a medium, because obviously he's in business now, but he was a medium. And he said to me that the girl who swapped out with you, she's really psychic. Like, it's, meaning me, like, it's radiating off of her massively. She asked me if I'd like to speak to him. And he'd said that I'm a little shy, or might be a bit shy to talk about it, which I would be. I know it doesn't seem like I'm shy on here, but in real life, quite honestly, it can be quite painful to talk to. Like, especially if it's somebody new. Anyway, I bit the bullet and he came down, and I sort of clocked him, and he was sort of looking at me, and I said, oh, I heard you clock me as a reader then. And he came straight over, and this guy was, like, honestly so intense. Like, I can honestly say that I haven't experienced anything like it in my life. And he said, well, yeah, straight away as you passed me, I felt how sort of gifted you are, and you have this, like, huge psychic energy, sort of, like, gestured like this. And he was like, I don't think you're quite sure what to do with it yet. And it took me so aback, because when I talk about, mundane before magical and being a skeptical witch, I always say that with a pinch of salt, because I have had experiences and I have worked with energies, and I think if you practice witchcraft, you start to understand that, like, there is definitely something other than, But with that mindset, I've always struggled with that kind of suspension of disbelief. Even though I've read people's tarot for years and been continuously surprised at just how predictive and accurate they can be, though of course I swear by them, they continue to surprise me, even though I've had experiences with loved ones who have passed on, and so many moments where I just know that I've tapped into something else. This conversation that I had with him really got to me, because he clocked immediately that, not like I doubt my craft and my psychic ability, but at times I am scared by it. When you go into trance, or even just like in your everyday life, and you get a feel for things, or an instinct for things that just happen, or what people are thinking or what they've been through, like, you feel like sometimes you can't tell anyone because it sounds too bizarre to be true. And I said that to him because he had sort of asked, like, why, if I knew about my gift, why didn't I use it or lean into it as much as I should? Which, again, I was like, kind of weird that you know that. But I said, I don't always believe in myself. I don't always believe in what I can do. And he said, you have to go for it. Like, you should really be using this and learning about it. Although he was a medium, he didn't actually do it as a career anymore. He was quite obviously in business. He said, sometimes paths cross for a reason, and this was one of those times that I needed to hear what he had to say. And we spoke briefly about other things that I'll keep private, but the bulk of the conversation was him basically being like, whoa, came across you straight away, and you got energy going on that you should tap into, and you should learn how to properly use it. And that means letting yourself go down those paths and be confident on what it is to know and be certain of something without knowing it. It was such a long and intense conversation that I'm not repeating this verbatim. He used our meeting as an example that he had no idea about me at all, to my knowledge, of course, skeptical brain always at the ready. He he said how he just said it. He went for it, he felt it, he had that instinct, and it worked out being exactly what I needed to hear. And he thanked me for not being like weird about it, and I said not at all, like it's made my day. Like it really was something that I needed to hear and have it confirmed by someone just randomly like that, really out of nowhere. But yeah, he just reiterated to make sure that I'm performing my psychic protections and gave me some book recommendations as well and things like that to have a look at. And I was just really, really grateful for that experience, to be honest with you. Like, I've seen a few witches talking about on here lately, like talking about imposter syndrome, and I feel like that was my confirmation moment to do with how I need to trust myself and trust my instinct and I know that it's what my cards and my guides have been screaming at me to do for years. So yeah, I think it's time to listen, because something coming out of the blue like that really solidified it for me. So I am about to pull a card to see what it says. Ooh. It's none of them. Can you give me a card that confirms what I experienced today with Dominic? Knight of fucking Swords. It means no fear. It means to jump into something head first with action and to just take life by the balls and do it. And that's exactly what I was told today. Like, that's exactly what the feeling that I got today from was, okay, it's time, let's do this. Don't be scared, because I am scared and I have those insecurities. I have those worries about people not liking me or people not believing what I have to say, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I have to believe what I have to say. I have to know that all the times I've been right, all the times that my instincts have told me something, all the times that I've read for people and it's been scarily, spookily accurate, even if they didn't know it yet. This is what it's about. But yeah, I feel genuinely so humbled and appreciative to have been clocked by this guy today. Of course, there's always going to be a part of me that's going to be like, oh, somehow he's seen me online, somehow he's seen me doing tarot. I don't know, it's still possible. But it's just nice to hear and have it confirmed that the things that I've experienced have some truth to them. And I know, and I don't want to, like, I know that deep down. The logical part of your brain is always trying to find a reason. It's always trying to find, you know, an explanation, and sometimes there is none. And sometimes you just have to trust yourself, and that is what I'm being told with this today, for sure.